Long, long ago in India, there lived a great king called Dasarath, who ruled from his capital of Ayodhya. He had 3 wives called Kaikeyi, Kaushalya, and Sumitra. But he was very sad because he had no children. So he arranged for a fire sacrifice, out of which came a pot of special prasadam, which he presented to all his wives. In due course of time, his queens gave birth to 4 wonderful sons. Kaushalya became the mother of Ram. Kaikeyi was the mother of Bharat, and Sumitra's sons were Lakshman and Shatrughna. Ram and his brothers were all incarnations of the Supreme Lord. The 4 princes were loved dearly by their parents. They learned the art of fighting with bows and arrows and with swords and shields. They grew into brave and powerful warriors. They learned how to rule wisely, treating the citizens as their very own family. At Sita's Swayamvara ceremony, Ram broke the bow of Shiva and won the hand of the beautiful Princess Sita. They married and lived happily together in Ayodhya. One day, King Dasarath decided it was time to retire and to hand over the kingdom to his eldest son Ram. The citizens were overjoyed and happily prepared to crown Ram the new king. They swept the roads till they were spotless and sprinkled them with scented water. They hung garlands on the gates and doorways and decorated every building with flags and festoons. But within the palace, there lived a wicked and hunchbacked maidservant who convinced Queen Kaikeyi that her son Bharat should be crowned king and not Ram. Kaikeyi asked King Dasarath to give her 2 wishes. First, she asked for her own son Bharat to be made king. And secondly, she asked him to banish Ram to the forest for 14 years. Dasarath fainted in shock. He had made a promise, and as the king, he had a duty to keep his word. When Ram heard this news, he was not disturbed at all and tried to console his grieving father. Sita and Ram's brother Lakshman decided to join him during his exile. All 3 gave up their royal garments and put on simple clothes. All the citizens were crying as they passed through the city gates and entered the forest, where they were to live for the next 14 years. Life in the forest was simple but happy. Ram and Lakshman built a cottage. Sita collected fruits and vegetables. With their bow and arrows, Ram and Lakshman killed many demons who were disturbing the peace of the sages living within the forest. Ram, Lakshman, and Sita lived happily. That is, until the 14th and final year. One day, an evil Rakshasi named Surpanak saw Ram. His elegant and divine features captivated her, and she longed to marry him. She flew into a jealous rage and rushed at Sita. Lakshman stepped forward and with his knife sliced off her nose and ears. Screaming, she fled off into the jungle to tell the evil Rahwana all that had happened. A few days later, Sita saw a beautiful golden deer. She said to Ram, "I'd love to have it as my pet. Please get it for me." Ram was very suspicious. "This is no ordinary deer. It may be an illusion created by a magician." So he told Lakshman to stay and guard Sita, then set off to capture the deer. But it was a trick, and the deer imitated Ram's voice and cried out, "Lakshman, help me! Help me!" Lakshman knew that no one could defeat Ram, but Sita begged him to go and help his brother. Before he left, Lakshman created a magic circle around the cottage to protect Sita. "Under no circumstances must you go out of this magic circle," he told Sita. Then he went off to look for Ram. Ravan, king of the Rakshasas, was waiting. Taking on the disguise of a sage in the forest, he tricked Sita into leaving the magic circle. Springing forward, he grabbed Sita and bundled her into his chariot, which soared through the skies towards his capital of Lanka. Hearing Sita's cries for help, the brave vulture Jatayu flew towards the chariot to help Sita. But Ravana cut off his wings and Jatayu fell to the ground. Ram and Lakshman later found the dying Jatayu, who was able to tell them that Ravana had taken Ram's wife. The two brothers searched everywhere for any clue to Sita's whereabouts. They enlisted the help of an army of monkey warriors who helped them with their search. Because of his great courage and strength, Hanuman was chosen to find Sita. With a single leap, Hanuman flew across the ocean to Ravana's island of Lanka. There he found Sita, sitting in a grove of ashok trees, where she was constantly shedding tears for her husband Ram. Hanuman assured Sita that he would soon return with Ram to save her. Ravana captured Hanuman and set fire to his tail, but Hanuman escaped and jumped from building to building until all of Lanka was on fire. He again leapt into the skies and returned to Ram's army, who were waiting on the shores of the ocean. Ram told the monkey warriors to throw boulders into the sea, and by his mystic power, the rocks floated on the water and formed a bridge all the way to Lanka. Cheering, the army marched to Ravana's capital. Ravana's army of demons fired their weapons, and the monkey warriors hurled trees and rocks back at them. A mighty battle took place. When Ravana heard that many of his generals had been killed, he became very angry. He joined his army and showered arrows onto the monkey warriors. Ram invoked a celestial weapon. Fixing the arrow to his bow, he released it towards the demon's chest. It hissed through the air and struck Ravana, who fell down to the ground, dead. When Sita saw her husband once again, her lotus-like face blossomed with joy. After going through fire to show her purity, she and Ram boarded their flower airplane and with Lakshman and Hanuman returned to Ayodhya. Their citizens were overjoyed and lit millions of oil lamps to light up the city of Ayodhya. Seeing their king Ram returning after so long, the citizens offered flower garlands and danced in great jubilation. Bharat, Ram's younger brother, with eyes full of tears, welcomed Ram home. Shri Ramachandra Bhagavan ki Jai.
रघुपति राघव राजा